Alright, welcome back. We're now in sports card introduction video number 2. At this point, you should have your picture, which we took in front of our green screen. You should have that posted in your canvas. Okay, the last thing that we did before we split up the video was our scale / fake scale, because our video was too big. We did a real scale to make it smaller, and it's obviously very important that you do that before you move on to any other tools, okay? So, once you've saved with Save Command-Shift-S, and let's just make sure that we save it as sports, or I think I saved it as last name sports card. Okay, so moving forward, we're going to jump to our Magic Wand tool. Let us double-click on our Magic Wand tool. We're going to click on the green, because we're trying to get rid of the green. Now you'll notice that the Magic Wand tool, in this situation, did not select all the green. Alright, depending upon where I click, it selects different types of green. The reason for this is that up here it's slightly darker than it is over here. If you look very close, this green is slightly darker than this green, even though the sheet, the green screen, is all the same color. The things that cause that are things like shadows, differences in lighting, even the way the walls in the room are set up. Now, I know to the naked eye, and quickly, it looks like the same color, but if you look very closely, you'll see that this is a bit darker than this. What we have to adjust here is the threshold. We need to adjust what's called the threshold. So if we look down here, this is our threshold meter. 15 is kind of where it might start, somewhere around here. Let's put it up to 35. Let's see what happens now. I've adjusted my threshold to 35, and again, it's not the same for everybody, but you kind of want to find the sweet spot. If I click here, that's almost all the green, as we can see. It's not perfect, so I want to keep going. Oh, we're getting closer. I am at, let's go all the way to 60. Okay, 60 is the best so far, but you'll see it's too much. It's starting to select some of my pants and some of my hair. So let's bring it back down to, say, 53. Oh, that's no good either. Let's try again. Okay, 53 seems like a good number. Now, I'm not saying that yours has to be 53, but with the way my photo was laid out, it did have to be 53. So I also want to point out that the threshold does not have to be the same for everyone. Okay? So just because mine is 53 doesn't mean that yours has to be 53. Okay, now I've selected all the green, or for the most part, almost all the green. It's now time for me to cut out that green. If I hit Command X, just like in other videos, if I hit Command X, and I want to make sure that I'm in the right program, if I hit Command X, it will cut out the green. Now, why are we not seeing the gray squares? Why are we seeing white back here? If we look here, if we look over in our Layers tab, we see that we have the background layer. The background layer is behind our Mr. DeCola, okay? Now, just to test this, if we click on this little eyeball right here, but right next to our layer, and again, I'm over here, if we click on our eyeball right next to this layer, we can either show the white or hide the white. And again, that's just hiding or showing this background layer. We can do the same to the Mr. DeCola layer. Boop, bop, boop, bop. Alright? So, let us leave that white background layer there for now. Okay, now, it's very important that at this point, you hit Command-Shift-A to unselect. We don't need to have this area selected anymore. We already cut out the green. We've already done that. So now, we need to hit Command-Shift-A. We need to hit Command-Shift-A to unselect the green. Now you'll notice that some of that green is left. Some of that green is left. Right here, and that is okay, because you can use the eraser tool later on to get rid of that, okay? Obviously my eraser is way too big right now. I'm not going to spend time doing it right now, but you can use the eraser tool later on to get rid of some of that green. Okay, at this point, we want to include a background image in our in our sports card. Now, I had put this card. I'd imagine this card as me playing tennis. Okay, I'd imagine this card as me playing tennis. So behind it, I would put a tennis court. If you were playing baseball, maybe it's a baseball field. If you're doing dancing, maybe it's a dancing studio. So if we click on Google Chrome, go to File, New Window. Okay, you can also do it by clicking on Google Chrome right here, of course. But let's open up Google Chrome and let's type in tennis court. Okay, tennis court. Now click on Images. I don't know why that came up. Click on Images. Now all of these look okay, but if you notice, when you scroll over the images, it shows how big the image is right here. So you at least need something that's bigger than the size of our canvas. If our canvas is 500 by 750, you need something that's at least bigger than that. This, of course, is much bigger than that. This is bigger, but not in a shape that we want. This might work right here, okay? So, if we take a look back at our instructions, we need to search for a background image, which we've done. Great job. We need to make sure our image has, or that it makes sense for our sport, and it does, because I'm playing tennis here. We need to click on the image in Google. Click on the image in Google, okay? Now, if I click on this tennis court right here, boop, now it is ready for me to drag onto my desktop or into my downloads folder, okay? I'm going to drag mine right to my desktop. You can choose to do that, or you can put it in your downloads folder. Either way. So I'm going to click and drag onto the desktop. Now, I just want to verify, it's very, very important that you do steps 9B and 9C together, okay? It's very, very, very important, because if you don't do that, your image will be all grainy, and it won't look right, okay? Click on the image to make it big first, just like this, and then drag it, okay? And then drag it. All right, so now, you're going to want to drag this in, but wait. Before you drag it into your project, you need to save your project, or else you might lose your work, okay? Or else you might lose your work. So if we click up here, all right, we're going to hit Command S, and then if you see right down here at the bottom of our canvas, it says Image Saved to user/Andrew/picture/Decola Sports Card. Okay, image saved. Now, 9E right here, we're going to drag that photo into our GIMP canvas. Here it is. We drag it in. It's loading. Oh, goodness gracious, this picture is so gosh darn small. I'm not sure that's going to work. Let's see if we scale it, how it looks. Now, I've got a feeling that this picture might be too blurry. Oh, yeah, that's no good. That picture is too blurry. So let's take a few steps backwards by hitting Command Z. Okay, let's go back to our search. Let's find something bigger. Let's find something bigger. What about this one? That might work. Let's drag this to our desktop. And once again, we want to hit Command S to save, and let's drag it in. Oh, goodness gracious, that is much, much closer. Let's rescale that just so it's a little bit bigger. 1 and 2. Okay, scale. Wonderful. Now let's downsize our Chrome window. Okay, now we have saved in GIMP, we've dragged it in. Now let's just make sure the order of our layers is right. Let's look here. At the top, eventually you want to have your picture at the top. However, you might have it in this order, meaning your background image at the top. This is our tennis court layer, which we're seeing right here, our tennis court layer. But our person layer is right here. That's just no good. We need to click on this picture and drag it one up. Again, we need to click on our photo and just drag it above our background photo, just like this. Now, ladies and gents, at this point, you want to go and be creative. This is where you might go in and you might use the eraser to erase remaining green. Oh, I spelled eraser wrong. That's okay. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes. So we want to go in, maybe use the eraser to erase some of this green, and of course reference the rubric on what needs to be included. Ladies and gents, thank you so much. Have a great day.